All right, welcome. So, if you're running a small business here in the UK and you've started hiring people, you've probably come across this acronym PAYE. What we're going to do today is break down exactly what that system is. We'll look at the common mistakes that trip up even the most careful business owners, and most importantly, we'll talk about how you can avoid them.
So you're growing the team. First off, that's fantastic. But as you know, bringing on new staff means you're stepping into the world of payroll compliance. And trust me, that's a journey you really want to start on the right foot. You know, our goal here is pretty simple. We just want to take all the complexity out of PAYE payroll. We're going to put it right under the magnifying glass so you can feel confident moving forward. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first, what exactly is PAYE? Let's define it, and more importantly, let's talk about why it's so critical for your business to get this right from the get-go.
So PAYE stands for Pay As You Earn, and it's basically the system HMRC, that's the UK's tax office, uses to collect income tax and national insurance. The key thing here is that it's taken directly from an employee's salary. So as the employer, it's your job to do the math, deduct those amounts, and then pay your employee what's left.
And you can see the flow here, it's pretty straightforward. Step 1, you figure out your employee's pay. Step 2, you deduct the tax and national insurance. And Step 3, you report all of this and pay those deductions over to HMRC. It sounds simple, right? And it is. It's just a 3-step dance you'll do every single payday.
So why does this matter so much? Well, because the stakes are actually pretty high. Getting it wrong, even a simple mistake, can lead to some painful penalties. Not to mention the hours you'll waste trying to fix it. It can even hurt your reputation as a good employer. So yeah, getting it right is everything.
Okay, so we know what pay is. Now for the fun part. Let's look at where things can go wrong. We're going to walk through the 5 most common and frankly costly pitfalls that small businesses run into. Just by knowing what these trip-ups are, you're already way ahead of the game.
All right, let's break them down one by one. First up, and this is a big one, missing deadlines. You have to send your payroll info to HMRC using a system they call real-time information, or RTI. And that report, it has to be sent on or before your employee's payday. No exceptions. If you miss it, you're looking at automatic penalties. Simple as that. Mistake number 2, getting the math wrong. Miscalculations. This usually happens for one of 2 reasons. Either you're using an old tax code, you know, that code from HMRC that tells you how much tax to take, or you're using the wrong national insurance rates. Either way, it leads to you underpaying or overpaying someone, and that creates a massive headache to sort out later.
Okay, number 3 is a huge one, overlooking pensions. Thanks to the auto-enrolment rules, you have a legal duty to put eligible employees into a workplace pension and contribute to it. If you don't, you could be looking at some seriously hefty fines from the pensions regulator. You do not want that. All right, next up, messing up the benefits. We're talking about those perks like a company car or private health insurance. All of that stuff needs to be reported correctly through your payroll. Get it wrong, and you might just trigger an inquiry from HMRC. And, you know, that's something we'd all rather avoid, right? And finally, mistake number 5, misclassifying your staff. This is so important. The difference between an employee and a self-employed contractor is absolutely crucial in the eyes of HMRC. If you get it wrong and treat someone as a contractor when they're really an employee, oh boy, you could be on the hook for backdated taxes, national insurance, and big penalties.
Okay, that was a little doom and gloom, I know. We've seen all the problems. But now for the good part, the solutions. Let's talk about 4 best practices that'll help you build a payroll process that's smooth and, most importantly, compliant. Think of this as your action plan, your compliance checklist. First, use good, reliable payroll software that's recognized by HMRC. Seriously, it does all the heavy lifting and stops you from making silly manual errors. Second, keep amazing records, and I mean everything. Payslips, reports, the works. You gotta keep them for at least 6 years. That's the law. Third, things change. Tax rules get updated, so make sure you stay in the loop. And finally, Hey, if this all feels like too much, think about outsourcing to a pro. It can save you so much time and stress.
And that last point is a big decision, right? This slide lays it out perfectly. You've got two main options. Going the DIY route gives you full control, and yeah, it's cheaper up front, but it eats up your time, and if you make a mistake, that's on you. On the other hand, getting expert support saves you a ton of time and massively reduces your risk, but of course, it's an added business expense. It's a classic trade-off, and it's something every business owner has to think about.
Okay, let's bring this all home. I want to quickly recap the absolute key points we've covered, the stuff you really need to remember to manage your PAYE obligations like a pro.
This little table here really sums it all up, doesn't it? The concept, the PAYE system is your responsibility. The risk, big penalties if you don't comply. And the solution? It all comes down to having proactive, systematic processes. Your toolkit, good software, great records, staying up to date, and knowing when to call for backup. That's your best defense against all those headaches.
And that really brings us to our final thought for today. As your business grows and you hire more and more people, your payroll is only going to get more complex. It's just a fact. So the big question I want to leave you with is the payroll process you have right now built for the business you want to be tomorrow?